King Solomon, renowned for his incredible wisdom and wealth, remains one of the greatest and most enigmatic figures of the ancient world. Although much has been written about him in the Bible and other historical sources, most of the knowledge about this illustrious ruler is shrouded in the mists of time. Legends and myths intertwine with historical facts, creating a multi-layered picture of his life and reign. It is difficult to discern where reality ends and fiction begins, but one thing is certain: Solomon left a profound impact on the consciousness of many generations. The general facts about Solomon. He was the son of King David and Bathsheba. It is believed that he ruled Israel in the 10th century BCE. His reign marked a period of great prosperity for Israel. But who was this man who became a symbol of wisdom and success? Why did his name become a legend? We gain much information about Solomon from the Bible, particularly from the books of Kings and Proverbs. His image is also mentioned in the Quran and other religious texts. However, historical evidence of his reign remains limited, and it is often difficult to separate fact from myth. It is known that Solomon was the third king of Israel, succeeding his father David on the throne. His reign began with significant challenges. After David's death, Solomon had to assert his authority and overcome internal conflicts. He was renowned for his wisdom, which manifested in many decisions. For instance, his judgment in the case of two women disputing over a child became a symbol of his unparalleled wisdom. But it was not only wisdom that defined Solomon. He was also known for his large-scale building projects, diplomatic skills, and wealth. His kingdom became the richest and most influential in the region. However, despite all these achievements, many aspects of his life remain mysterious and controversial. King Solomon is renowned not only for his wisdom and wealth, but also for the numerous mystical artifacts that, according to legend, endowed him with supernatural powers. These artifacts, including Solomon's ring, the magic shield, and the Book of Commandments, played a significant role in his reign and secured his reputation as a powerful sorcerer and master of demons. One of Solomon's most famous artifacts is his ring. This ring, known as the Seal of Solomon, or Solomon's signet, is considered the source of his magical power. According to legend, the ring was given to Solomon by the archangel Michael, who was sent by God. The ring bore a magical symbol that allowed Solomon to command demons, communicate with animals, and understand the language of nature. The ring helped Solomon accomplish numerous tasks. He used it to subdue demons and make them work for him, particularly in the construction of the temple. The ring also granted him the ability to resolve complex matters and make wise decisions, enhancing his authority among his people. One of the unique properties of the ring was its ability to control animals. Solomon could understand the language of birds, insects, and beasts, which enabled him to use them for his purposes and gather valuable information. Another significant artifact of Solomon was his magic shield. This shield, known as the Shield of David, or Magen David, also endowed Solomon with supernatural abilities. The shield was believed to have been given to Solomon by his father, King David, who had it crafted by skilled artisans and blessed by the prophet Samuel. The shield bore 6-pointed stars, forming the Star of David, symbolizing divine protection and favor. It is believed that this symbol had protective powers and guarded Solomon against evil spirits and enemies. The shield provided Solomon with unparalleled protection during battles and ensured his safety while performing magical rituals. With this artifact, Solomon could confidently command demons and undertake dangerous tasks. The shield also symbolized Solomon's wisdom and faith. He used it as a symbol of his authority and spiritual strength, emphasizing his role as a divinely chosen ruler. The Book of Commandments is another crucial artifact associated with Solomon's name. This book contained numerous spells, rituals, and magical formulas that granted Solomon supernatural power and knowledge. According to legend, the book was created by Solomon himself, with the help of angels who imparted their knowledge to him. It contained detailed instructions for summoning and subduing demons, as well as various magical spells for healing, protection, and gaining knowledge. Solomon used the book to perform magical rituals and summon demons. Through its knowledge, he could control supernatural forces and obtain information inaccessible to ordinary people. The book also had a significant impact on the surrounding world. It allowed Solomon to alter the natural order of things, control the elements, and influence the fate of people. Solomon's mystical artifacts, such as the ring, shield, and Book of Commandments, were key elements of his power and might. They not only endowed him with supernatural abilities, but also emphasized his role as one of the greatest and wisest rulers in history. These artifacts have left a lasting mark in legend and culture, continuing to intrigue and captivate to this day.
What does a man with such incredible power need? In any case, he needs a woman, and Solomon had many women.
Solomon's 1,000 women. King Solomon, the wise and prosperous ruler, had a vast and diverse family. His numerous wives and concubines not only reflected the political alliances of his time, but also influenced his reign in significant ways. This chapter delves into the women in Solomon's life, their backgrounds, and their impact on his rule. Solomon is traditionally said to have had 700 wives and 300 concubines. These women came from various nations and were often part of political alliances. Here are some notable figures among them. Naamah the Ammonite. She was a princess from the kingdom of Ammon. Her marriage to Solomon was likely a political alliance. She is notably the mother of Rehoboam, Solomon's successor. Her influence on Solomon's religious policies is debated, but her presence in the royal household is significant due to her son's eventual ascension to the throne. Pharaoh's daughter. One of Solomon's most significant political marriages was to the daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh. This union symbolized a powerful alliance between Israel and Egypt. Solomon built a special palace for her, showcasing her importance. This marriage helped secure peace and foster trade between the two nations. However, it also introduced Egyptian religious practices to Jerusalem. Queen of Sheba. Though not a wife, the Queen of Sheba's visit to Solomon is legendary. She came to test Solomon's wisdom with hard questions. The encounter highlighted Solomon's fame and wisdom. Some traditions suggest a romantic relationship, and some even claim they had a child together, establishing a dynastic link between Israel and Ethiopia. Sidonian women. Solomon married many Sidonian women, aligning himself with the powerful Phoenician city-states. These marriages reinforced trade relationships, but also introduced the worship of Sidonian deities like Astarte, Ashtoreth, which influenced Solomon's later religious practices. Moabite women. Marriages to Moabite women were part of Solomon's broader strategy of regional alliances. These marriages introduced the worship of Chemosh, the Moabite god, further complicating Solomon's religious landscape. Hittite women. Solomon's marriage to Hittite women was another strategic alliance, linking Israel with the remnants of the Hittite Empire. These alliances brought Hittite culture and religion into Jerusalem, contributing to the religious syncretism of Solomon's later years. Influence on Solomon's rule. Solomon's numerous wives had a profound impact on his reign, particularly in religious and cultural matters. Solomon's wives brought their native religions with them. To appease them, Solomon built altars and high places for their gods, including Astarte, Chemosh, and Milcom. This led to religious syncretism, and eventually, according to biblical accounts, drew Solomon away from exclusive worship of Yahweh. The presence of these foreign religious practices diluted the monotheistic worship in Israel, causing tension among the Israelites and contributing to future conflicts. The diverse backgrounds of Solomon's wives facilitated a rich exchange of cultural practices, arts, and traditions. This cultural blend contributed to the cosmopolitan nature of Solomon's court. The presence of many wives and concubines also led to court intrigue and political maneuvering, as various factions vied for influence and favor. Solomon's marriages were primarily political alliances that helped secure peace and foster trade with neighboring nations. These alliances brought economic prosperity and stability to Solomon's kingdom. By marrying princesses from surrounding nations, Solomon created a network of alliances that expanded his influence and power across the region. Why did Solomon need so many women? Besides political motives, this could also be related to his desire for luxury and power. A large harem was a symbol of the king's wealth and might, emphasizing his status in society. Solomon was known for his passion for luxury, and the harem was one manifestation of this. However, the consequences of these decisions were serious. The construction of altars for foreign gods led to the spread of idolatry in Israel and provoked God's wrath. After Solomon's death, his kingdom was divided into two parts, and many historians believe this was a direct result of his apostasy and disobedience to the commandments.
What gods were these altars built to? And could they have been altars for demons? In some regions, a demon with incredible power could be mistaken for a deity. Why not?
Solomon and his demons. Legends and myths about Solomon are closely tied to his ability to control demons. This theme occupies a significant place in many cultural traditions and religious texts. It is believed that Solomon had a special gift and knowledge that allowed him to subdue demons and use them for his purposes. This is especially relevant to the construction of Solomon's temple, where demons played a crucial role in carrying out difficult and complex tasks. One of the most famous demons who helped Solomon was Asmodeus. Asmodeus, or Ashmedai, was a powerful demon known for his strength and knowledge. Legend has it that Solomon subdued Asmodeus with the help of his magical ring and forced him to perform various tasks. Asmodeus assisted in the extraction and transportation of stone for the temple's construction, as well as in creating intricate architectural elements. Another demon who played a significant role in the temple's construction was Ornias. Ornias was known for his ability to fly and transform into different animals. He used his abilities to transport heavy materials over long distances, significantly speeding up the construction process. Solomon subdued Ornias and made him work for the benefit of his kingdom. Beelzebub also played an important role in the temple's construction. Beelzebub, or Baal-zebub, was one of the most powerful demons, known for his ability to command other demons. Solomon subdued him and appointed him as the leader of the other demons working on the temple. Beelzebub directed the actions of the other demons, greatly enhancing the efficiency of the work. Another important demon was Leviathan. Leviathan was a gigantic sea monster capable of controlling waters and causing storms. Solomon used his abilities to transport heavy stones by sea. Leviathan could lift enormous boulders and carry them over great distances, significantly easing the construction process. Other demons involved in the temple's construction included Astaroth, Belial, and Abaddon. Astaroth was known for his wisdom and knowledge in various fields, aiding in solving complex architectural problems. Belial was a powerful demon of destruction who used his abilities to clear the site for the temple's construction. Abaddon, a demon of destruction and chaos, was used for quarrying and processing stone. Thanks to these demons and their abilities, Solomon was able to accomplish the incredibly complex project of building the temple. Using his magical knowledge and the power of the ring, he subdued these demons and made them work for the benefit of his people. These legends and myths illustrate Solomon's power and wisdom, which allowed him to control even the most formidable forces of darkness. Solomon's Temple. The construction of Solomon's Temple was one of the most ambitious and significant projects of his reign. The temple became a symbol of unity and spiritual renewal for the people of Israel. According to the Bible, Solomon built this temple on Mount Moriah in Jerusalem, where his father David had dreamed of erecting a sanctuary for the Ark of the Covenant. The construction of the temple lasted 7 years and required immense resources and effort. Solomon used the finest materials: Lebanese cedar, gold, silver, and precious stones. He enlisted the help of the best craftsmen and artisans from across the kingdom and neighboring countries. The latest technologies of the time were employed for the transportation and processing of materials. One of the key figures in the temple's construction was Hiram of Tyre, a renowned master and architect. He was responsible for creating many elements of the temple's interior, including the bronze pillars Jachin and Boaz, and the molten sea, a large reservoir for water. Hiram's contribution was indispensable in realizing Solomon's grand plan. The architectural plan of the temple was meticulously designed. The temple consisted of 3 main parts: the porch, the sanctuary, and the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies was the central chamber where the Ark of the Covenant was kept. This place was considered the most sacred and was accessible only to the high priest once a year on Yom Kippur. Special attention was given to the temple's decoration. The interior walls were covered with gold and adorned with carvings of cherubim, palm trees, and flowers. Golden lampstands, altars, and tables completed the majestic interior. The temple was illuminated by numerous lamps, creating an atmosphere of sanctity and grandeur. The involvement of demons in the temple's construction, as previously mentioned, is part of the legends and myths about Solomon. They assisted in performing the most difficult and complex tasks, significantly accelerating the construction process. Thanks to this, Solomon's Temple became one of the greatest architectural achievements of its time. After the construction was completed, Solomon solemnly dedicated the temple. The dedication ceremony was a grand event attended by representatives of all the tribes of Israel. Solomon offered a prayer, asking God to bless the temple and accept it as his dwelling place. After this, the temple became the main religious center of Israel and a symbol of the nation's unity.
A temple built by demons became the center of religion.
Solomon's wealth and his mines with demons guard. King Solomon's reign is renowned for its unprecedented wealth and prosperity, marking him as one of the wealthiest and most influential rulers of the ancient world. His vast fortune was derived from various sources, including extensive trade, tributes, and rich mineral resources. Among the most fascinating aspects of his wealth are the diamond mines associated with his reign, along with the legends surrounding these mines and the involvement of demons in their exploitation. Sources of Solomon's wealth: trade and commerce. Solomon established extensive trade networks that spanned the Mediterranean and beyond. He formed alliances with powerful nations, including Tyre and Egypt, which facilitated trade. The famous Queen of Sheba visited Solomon, intrigued by his wealth and wisdom. She brought valuable gifts and established trade relations with Israel. Solomon's fleet of ships, known as the ships of Tarshish, ventured to distant lands, bringing back gold, silver, ivory, apes, and baboons. These trading expeditions were crucial in amassing his vast fortune. Tribute and taxation. Solomon also amassed wealth through tribute and taxation from the surrounding nations and his subjects. The Bible describes how various kings and rulers paid tribute to Solomon, acknowledging his power and seeking his favor. This tribute included valuable gifts and resources, adding to his immense wealth. Additionally, Solomon implemented a system of taxation within his kingdom, which provided a steady stream of income, gifts, and tributes. Solomon received lavish gifts from visiting dignitaries and leaders. For instance, the Queen of Sheba brought significant treasures to Solomon, impressed by his wealth and wisdom. These gifts were not only a sign of respect, but also a strategic alliance that further enriched Solomon's coffers. Solomon's wealth was significantly augmented by the exploitation of mineral resources, particularly gold, silver, and precious stones. The Bible and various historical texts mention several locations where Solomon's mines were situated. The mines of Ophir. Ophir is often cited as the primary source of Solomon's gold. Although the exact location of Ophir remains a mystery, it is believed to have been a region rich in precious metals and resources. Solomon's fleets made regular voyages to Ophir, bringing back large quantities of gold, silver, and other valuable materials. The mines of Edom. Another significant source of Solomon's wealth was the copper mines located in Edom, a region south of Israel. These mines were well known for their rich deposits of copper, which were used in various applications, including the construction of the temple. The Edomite copper mines played a crucial role in providing materials for the temple's bronze furnishings. The mines of Tarsus. Tarsus, another location associated with Solomon's wealth, was known for its mineral resources. The wealth extracted from Tarsus contributed to Solomon's treasury and supported his ambitious building projects. Solomon's quarry. The construction of Solomon's temple required enormous quantities of stone. The famous quarries of Jerusalem, believed to have been utilized during Solomon's reign, provided the massive blocks of stone needed for the temple's construction. These quarries were worked by thousands of laborers and skilled craftsmen, further contributing to Solomon's wealth and the grandeur of his projects. Diamond mines. Less commonly mentioned but equally intriguing are the legendary diamond mines associated with Solomon's reign. Ancient texts and folklore suggest that Solomon controlled vast diamond deposits. These mines were reputed to be in remote and mysterious locations, often depicted as guarded by supernatural forces. According to some legends, Solomon used his wisdom and magical knowledge to locate and exploit these diamond mines, which contributed to his immense wealth. The diamonds extracted from these mines were said to be of unparalleled quality and size, further enhancing his reputation for opulence. The legends surrounding Solomon's diamond mines often intertwine with stories of supernatural beings and magical practices. According to some myths, these mines were guarded by powerful demons and spirits, which Solomon had to subdue to access the precious stones. Guardians of the mines. Some legends describe the diamond mines as being protected by fierce and malevolent demons. These entities were said to possess great power and were tasked with guarding the mines from intruders. Solomon, using his magical ring and other artifacts, is said to have subdued these guardians, allowing him to extract the diamonds. The process of subduing these demons was often described as requiring great skill and wisdom. The demon Astaroth. Astaroth, a demon known for his knowledge and wisdom, is sometimes mentioned in connection with the diamond mines. According to legend, Solomon invoked Astaroth to gain insight into the locations of hidden mines and to manage the extraction of diamonds. Astaroth's assistance was said to have been crucial in uncovering the most lucrative deposits. The demon Beelzebub. Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies, was also believed to play a role in the mining operations. According to some myths, Beelzebub controlled the access to the mines and used his powers to control the environment around them. Solomon's interaction with Beelzebub involved complex rituals and negotiations to ensure the successful extraction of diamonds. The demon Leviathan. Leviathan, a monstrous sea creature, was said to have been involved in transporting diamonds from remote mines to Jerusalem. According to legend, Leviathan's ability to control the waters made it possible to move large quantities of precious stones quickly and efficiently. Solomon's control over Leviathan demonstrated his command over both land and sea. Solomon's immense wealth allowed him to undertake grand building projects, such as the construction of the temple and his palace, which were marvels of ancient architecture. His economic prosperity also enabled him to support a large administrative apparatus and maintain a lavish court, including numerous servants, officials, and craftsmen. The wealth accumulated during Solomon's reign had a lasting impact on Israel. It elevated the kingdom to a position of significant influence and power in the region. However, the burden of maintaining such opulence also led to high taxation and forced labor, which eventually contributed to social unrest and the kingdom's eventual division after Solomon's death. Reflections on the king's achievements and questionable deeds. King Solomon remains one of the most controversial figures in history. His reign was a time of great achievements and brilliant victories, but also a period of significant moral challenges and ethical compromises. This duality of his nature and deeds makes Solomon particularly interesting and complex to understand. Solomon's achievements: wisdom and justice. Solomon was renowned for his wisdom, which was granted to him by God. His decisions in judicial matters became legendary, such as the famous case of the two women disputing over a child. Solomon suggested dividing the child in half to reveal the true mother, demonstrating his unparalleled understanding of human nature and ability to administer justice. Construction of the temple. The first temple in Jerusalem became not only a religious center but also a symbol of unity and spiritual renewal for the people of Israel. This architectural masterpiece showcased the technical skill and power of Solomon's kingdom. International relations. Solomon expanded diplomatic ties by forming alliances with many neighboring kingdoms, including Egypt and Tyre. These alliances ensured peace and contributed to economic prosperity, as Solomon developed trade and increased his country's wealth. Economic development. Solomon elevated Israel's economy to a new level. He developed agriculture, built trade routes, and fortified cities. Under his reign, the Kingdom of Israel achieved significant economic prosperity. Solomon's questionable deeds. Apostasy. Under the influence of his numerous wives, Solomon allowed the construction of altars and shrines for foreign gods in Jerusalem. This apostasy from the worship of the one God of Israel angered God and was one of the reasons for the kingdom's division after Solomon's death. Large number of wives. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. This not only caused tension at court but also led to significant political and religious complications. Many of these women were princesses from neighboring nations, leading to the influence of foreign religions and cultures. Forced labor. Solomon used forced labor for the construction of the temple, his palace, and other large-scale projects. This created social tension and dissatisfaction among the people, eventually leading to revolts and the kingdom's split. Magical practices. Legends about Solomon's use of demons and magical rituals raise questions about his moral principles. Although these stories demonstrate his power and knowledge, they also raise issues about the limits of what is acceptable in the pursuit of power and control. Solomon remains a figure difficult to evaluate unequivocally. His wisdom and achievements deserve recognition and admiration, but his moral compromises and apostasy from faith raise doubts and criticism. Solomon was a king who sought greatness and prosperity for his people, but also faced many temptations and challenges that forced him to make difficult choices.
Who was Solomon really? A wise ruler, a powerful magician, a devoted servant of God, or a libertine who succumbed to the influence of demons and foreign religions? Who knows? His life and reign leave more questions than answers. But one thing is certain: Solomon was the greatest king of the millennium before the birth of Christ, whose legacy continues to influence the world to this day. It is undeniable proof after 3,000 years later, we remember his name and his deeds.